Pearl Aday has released her first album, Little Immaculate White Fox, and it's packed with star power. She's had previous experience singing with her dad, rock royalty Meat Loaf, but also stepping outside the box for guest backing vocals with Motley Crue, Filter, and former Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley, among others. On the new record, she lets her inner rock and blues take over. The album features first and foremost her partner, Anthrax guitarist Scott Ian, who she says gets to explore his rock roots.
Scott is just a killer guitar player, and he also is a rock and roll heart. He's a metal heart too. Obviously, that's first and foremost. But he's a rock and roll guy. You know, he said, he had a great quote the other day. He said, "With Pearl, I get to live out my Malcolm Young fantasies." You know, that's rock and roll. It's rock and roll. You know, so he definitely probably brings a little bit of the harder edge that you hear, because he co-wrote on some of the songs, not all of them, but you know, some of them. And I think if you listen closely, you can really hear Scott in there. You know, his influence, his not necessarily metal influence, but it's a harder rock.
She also talks to us about appearances by Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains and Ted Nugent.
You know, instead of trying to make some of our own Ted Nugent feedback, why don't we just call up Ted and ask him if he would do it himself? And he said, you know, send me the tracks and I'll put something down. And he didn't do it like what we asked him to do. He did what instead of just doing the solo, he just soloed through the whole thing. And then in the middle is actually Scott and Ted going back and forth at each other. I think it channels left to right. One is Scott and one is Ted. So it came out really cool. We had the music when we were mixing, and we thought, well, this could use some like really crying, like, you know, haunting sort of sad guitar, like a Jerry Cantrell could do, you know. And Jerry's a close friend of ours as well, and we asked him, and he was more than happy to do it. So, and he actually came into the studio and played it while I was sitting on the floor at his feet watching him. So that was fun.
Little Immaculate White Fox was released in the US by Megaforce Records, and it'll be hitting the UK, Europe, Australia, and Japan in May.